Hey guys, Rob Dykeman here. I've got a couple good Canadian fellows right here. You got Dean Partridge, Jason Peterson. Dean, host of Canadian Whitetail TV. Sorry guys, long day so far. And Jason Peterson, Into the Wild. These guys have been with Excalibur for a couple years now, killing all kinds of monster animals out west, Western Canada. Dean, you're one of the king of big whitetail deer. Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, we had horrible winters a few years ago in Saskatchewan, which decimated our deer, but things are back, and the hunting the last year and this year have been really good and getting better. And we Excalibur, we're going into our 9th season now using Excalibur.
Really?
Yeah.
I should know that, shouldn't I?
Well, time flies, though. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, you've been around that long, too?
I've been around a little bit longer than that, actually, but yeah, 9 years goes by pretty fast, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. You know, every year you guys keep slamming big deer. You're getting the Excaliburs out there. You're putting them to good use. Tell us what you like about Excalibur.
Just the durability. I mean, you never have to worry about a thing. And we use that analogy because, you know, guys ask, well, how do you guys continually be so successful in big deer? And it's the same reason why you guys build such a good product, because you're focused on just that, and it's the core of what you do. So we spend piles of time doing that, and we use Excalibur crossbows because we never have to worry about anything. We've got the crossbow in a case with a spare string in case
They just always work.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to go wrong. We don't have to worry about it, and we're always ready to hunt.
Yeah, you guys are in northern Western Canada. Yeah. You guys are hunting some pretty nasty stuff year in, day out, year round. So, you know, that's awesome. The bows are working, and we appreciate it.
Well, in the fall, we'll go from a hunt in Saskatchewan. The bow's in snow all week and wet. And next week, we'll fly down to Texas and be hunting in South Texas, where it's hot and dry with the same bow, never a problem.
Well, there's big deer, and then there's stupid big deer. And you guys seem to get stupid big deer consistently. I think we got some footage.
Yep.
You want to watch this now?
Yeah,
show the audience?
Yeah, there's a clip with Billy Cheshire, a friend of ours, came out and he hunted a deer, a 7-year-old buck that we had on our plot for the last 6 years we've been filming him. And his hunt lasted about an hour this year. Okay. Doesn't go like that very often, but every now and then.
Well, one thing I'd want to say, guys, if you have any questions for Dean or Jason, shoot them into us and we'll read them out on air and we'll talk about them. Yep. Well, let's watch this clip.
This is the first sit on the plot for 2016, so the buck we really want to have a look at. He's a really wide, old 4x4. He's got kind of a drop beam or a drop tine on the one side. One cool looking buck. That buck has been on this plot for years. And this is probably the best he's ever been, eh? They had such an easy winter. He's got one drop beam. He looks like he's pretty heavy and wide, eh? Yeah, looks good. He come across there just gorgeous.
Well, congratulations, Billy.
Thanks.
That's a beautiful deer.
Yeah.
A little heavier than we thought too, hey?
Yeah.
He had that drop beam last year too. Not as much though. He just had kind of the end of it just curled down. Well, it's a gorgeous deer. Congratulations again, Bill.
Thanks. Well, that was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I noticed, you're using a micro.
Yeah, and we love the mic. We almost always use the micros the last couple of years because we hunt so much out of ground blinds because we can move around week to week and change, you know, our pattern or our program of hunting a specific deer, and they take up no room in the blind. They don't take up any more room than if we're hunting with a vertical bow. Yeah. We also have to have a cameraman in there. Sometimes we have an audio guy in there and our hunter all on a pop-up blind.
And you're not a small guy.
Well, yeah, I mean the blinds get full fast. And the micros are perfect in the blinds.
Like Teresa was saying, barrel chested.
Yeah, yeah. Husky. And my mom,
Yeah, there you
when
go.
I was little, my mom said I was husky.
Yeah. You know what? You're a deer killer. That's what you are, buddy. We love you.
Well, we appreciate the Excalibur.
Jay, what are you up to? Tell us about your show. I know you're killing a ton of stuff. You're kind of more diverse than Dean. You go after, you know, you're not prejudiced. You go after everything.
Yeah, I like to. I can't focus on one animal as much as he does. I like to travel around, and I've had them Excaliburs. Again, we've been with Excalibur for a lot of years, and I like to thank you and everybody else that have, I guess, been with us along the way. But we've had them everywhere from Africa to northern Canada, Argentina. I mean, they've been all over the place. But again, the reason why we take them all them places is because we know when we unpack them out of that, whether we either unpack them out of the back of our truck to go chase a whitetail, or we're in Argentina chasing
I got a
red
question
stag.
for you. Why don't you take Dean to all those cool places that you go? I always see you hunting all over the world.
He's a homebody.
He's killing big deer in Saskatchewan, and you're going to Argentina, Africa.
Someone's got to stay home and find these
take
big
care
deer.
of the business.
So when I get back, there's a big deer. No,
God bless you, Dean.
I really hope that we can get Dean out on into the wild. We're partners in both shows, and you know, we help each other out with both sides of it. And Dean does need to come along sometime.
No question.
But the reason why we take an Excalibur, or I take an Excalibur, is because I know when I unpack it out of the truck, or say we're in Argentina going to hunt red stag, that bow will work.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Well, I know we've got a clip of you. What do you got? Tee it up for us.
It's my whitetail from this past year. Again, we run a whitetail camp in northern Saskatchewan, and every once in a while I get a couple days just to get away and go to our own spots and do a little hunting. So it's one of the bigger deer I've taken, and one of the bigger deer I've taken with Excalibur.
Well, I was going to say, he said it was just a whitetail clip. It's not just, I mean, when you see this clip, it's a giant whitetail clip. It's probably one of the biggest.
Yeah.
Crossbow
You know, Dean,
shot
one thing I've
whitetails.
noticed about you, you're unbelievably passionate about your deer. We all are. We all love to kill big deer. But, like, do you actually get upset when you see one of your monarchs go down?
Oh, yeah.
I can tell a guy.
And producing the show has been hard because it's bittersweet. The
Yeah.
deer that Billy shot, I mean, my son and I filmed that deer. My daughter and I have, spent hundreds of days watching that deer. So, the moment of truth for me is maybe not the highest part of the hunt, but it's all part of it, because you can't, if you remove the hunt, it all falls apart. So, I mean, you love watching them, you kind of get attached to some of them, but.
Yeah, for Dean, I mean, I'll step in here and speak. For Dean, it's not really about, it's got nothing to do with the kill, actually. I mean, yeah, we hunt to kill, but it's got a lot more, it's a lot deeper
I
than
can
that.
tell whenever I talk to Dean, Dean's always been asking me to come out west and hunt.
Really?
Just haven't been
And he's
able to
going to.
connect.
No.
Well, actually, you told me
Oh,
I
you
could
are?
have his deer for next year. I'm pretty sure, right? I will take that deer, but I could tell Dean is just passionate about it.
Even more than hunting, and I know Jason's the same way with whitetails, especially the amount of time we spend scouting them. What's even more enjoyable than actually shooting it is when a guy like you comes out and hunts. That split, not even when you shoot, that split second that he steps out and you pan the camera to your hunter and you see that he realizes the deer of his dreams. Like, this is going to happen. It's going to happen right now. That's really what I live for, is just to sit back with the camera and watch that unfold is really what I love.
Well, let's watch your clip.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Just got about a 500-600 yard walk into my stand. Ground blind. Just got in the blind. Still pretty dark out. Rut's on, so let's hunker in and see what happens today.
whisper anymore. I could hear a deer coming, so I got everything ready, and I look out, and it's the big deer we're here to shoot. That's a big deer. Holy, look at that. Northern Saskatchewan whitetail. Oh, he's got little drop beams on both sides. Extra point in here that he bust off. Unreal main beams. Shot him with a Excalibur Micro 355. That thing, I put it together a few weeks ago and I shot it lots in the yard, and man, oh man, just a tack driver, cranker of a deer. Just an absolute cranker. Couldn't be happier. Well, I better go get the quad, get it in here, get this big boy out of here.
That was pretty cool. Nice deer. Like, how long have you guys known that deer, watched that deer?
Never.
Well, that was just out of the blue.
Yeah, I was actually hunting another deer, big 9-point, and that deer.
3 days earlier, right?
Yeah, 3 days earlier, just walked through there. And
No kidding.
it's one of them things. The country's so vast up there.
During the rut? Is that
when
why?
the rut's on,
Yeah.
they're moving. So, but
Okay.
yeah, it's the Excalibur put the hurting on that one.
No doubt, buddy. I'm proud of you for that. Okay, we got a couple questions here. We got enough time for one each. So I've got one for Dean. Dean, what's the next deer on your list? So I'm assuming that means you got another deer you've been watching that you're targeting. Like, knowing a guy like you probably got one or two that are on the A list.
We've got a few we watched. We had a non-typical this year actually that my wife was hunting, and she was hunting with a micro. And we have a 5-week break between our early and our late season. And we went from the early season, we were kind of getting honed in on them. During that 5-week break, we got in a spot where, I mean, we could just kill the heck out of them, you know, every other day in there. And
I need to go to that place.
2 days before the late season opened, he broke. He's got a cluster on the one side. It's a G2, 3, and 4 all combined coming off one base. So he knocked off probably 40 inches, but he's a 200-inch class deer. Yeah. So he broke that off. I mean, it's kind of what made him. We put him off the list. He's survived. He hasn't shed yet, but he's still alive. So we'll be looking for him in the summer next year.
Guess.
And I mean, he's 6 years old this year, so he's even got, he's got 2 years of potential growth yet. So what he might look like next year, we don't even know yet.
I got to hang out with you at least for another 2 years, is what you're telling me.
Well, I
We're making you hold on, buddy.
No. I'm only allowed to shoot 18-year-old deer. Okay, question for you, Jay. All the cool places you hunt, what is your favorite?
Oh, that's a tough one. I am fortunate to travel and have traveled pretty much every corner of the globe, but I will say there's nothing like hunting at home, no doubt about it, for mule deer, moose, elk, whitetails.
Pick one, though.
If he doesn't say whitetail, I'm going to drown him.
I think he said whitetail.
I felt your hand coming up. But I really enjoy Argentina. Love it down there. The food, the scenery, the
red wine.
Maybe some of that too.
Yeah.
But just and actually we're headed back there in a couple months here to do another hunt there. But there's a lot of great places, but there's nothing like home.
Yeah. Well, at the intro, guys, I should have said it's nice to have two Canadians down here, and welcome to the ATA in Indy. So it's always nice and a pleasure having you boys around. Appreciate everything you guys do, and keep killing those big ones.
You got Canadians coming up next, don't you?
I believe so.
There's no way they can do as good a job as we do.
We have like a Canadian takeover down there. We're going to have to import Danny Wallace. Actually, one thing that we want to touch on, are we still on?
We are, and you can pull out.
Okay, well, I'm going to do one quick other thing here. I know you guys have a hunt camp up in northern Saskatchewan. A couple of my buddies have hunted up there, and they said it's just stupid with the amount of deer.
Yeah, we got lots of deer, and the deer are starting to come back. We had a bad winter 4 or 5 years ago, and it took basically 2 age classes out. But yeah, we do. We managed it for the past couple of years, and this past year we ended up buying it, Dean and I and a couple other partners. But
like they were talking about seeing, anywhere from 20 to 60 deer a day.
Yeah.
130s all day, like we see spikes and does.
Yeah.
It's so low impact though. Like, I mean, we've got over 240,000 acre area that we outfit in, and we're running 20 hunts.
And
Well, we can run more, but we don't want to because we're building a place.
Yeah.
You know,
And you guys are obviously practicing good conservation,
Yeah.
taking mature deer. And,
Yeah, we try
you
like
know,
we.
I shouldn't have to ask that with you guys, but
Yeah.
all right, cool. Let's wrap it up here. I got Tim G giving me the speed it up sign. So let's get out of here, and thanks a lot, and we'll see you boys around.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
All right,
Thanks, bud.
boys.